This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Michael Eldridge also wants to know, what were Arn's thoughts on the U.S. tag titles? You and I've never really talked about this, but even once, I mean, before the buyout and then after the buyout with Turner, there's two sets of tag titles in the organization. There's the World Tag Team titles, and then there are the red strapped USA Tag Team titles. What'd you think of the U.S. tag straps and the concept of having two sets of tag belts?
Well, if I remember correctly, the Midnight Express were the recipients of those titles for a long time.
Yeah.
And when we shot the angle with them, I want to say Tully said, "Hey, Cornette, he asked for, the only reason the Midnight Express hasn't beat the Horsemen is that we haven't had a chance at them yet, or a crack at them, or something like that, something really, really good." And Tully turned around and said, "Hey, just be happy with the U.S. titles. Don't overreach your bounds." Now I'm paraphrasing, but something like that, which was a great launching pad for that angle,
right?
Which would have been, as we know, huge had they done the right thing and we not left.
Yeah, it is one of those major what ifs. I mean, I was actually just talking about that with a banker buddy a couple of days ago, that had you guys been able to work it out and stick around, you could have had a feud with the Midnights for a damn year and a half.
Oh my God. Yeah. You're not kidding. And it was, the few couple of shots that we did have with those guys as we were building it, and the build to it. You always hear me say the build to it. I mean, we would get in arguments out there, with Cornette and JJ getting into it, and Tully insulting Bobby, me insulting Lane, careful to stay away from Bobby till we got to the proper point, to where I just pretty much told the world, "Hey, Bobby, we're best friends, but business is business. Zip it." Again, paraphrase it. And man, the people that did know that we were friends, because they would see us traveling together, it just made for a real life story and a real life drama. And that's what sells tickets. And then you go out and you pay that match off in about 30 minutes with some excellent work rate. And those guys were all incredible workers, every one of them. It was just, it was a match made in heaven, I guess. It just didn't get to go to fruition.
Jimmy Snooker writes, if you and your partner Tully had stayed with the WWF and McMahon did what he always did and eventually split you guys up, who would have been the one to turn face? Now, this is sort of hard to imagine, Arn, a baby face Tully Blanchard. I mean, by default, it's got to be you, right?
Probably. And I hate to even say that.
I just don't know that Tully has it in him. It's weird because the first time I met Tully in real life, I don't know, it's remarkable. I claim to be a quote unquote smart fan. And then you meet Tully Blanchard in real life and he's the nicest guy ever, but you really want him to still be the asshole from TV. And that's just not him in real life, at least now in 2020.
Yeah. I mean, when, Tully got heat, he got the heat for the team. Some people hated me, but by and large, for some crazy reason, people liked me. And I don't know, I didn't do anything to cause it, but Tully was universally disliked. He was such an asshole. He just carried himself with so cocky everywhere he went. And that's the perception people had of him.
Big Extra wants to know, Arn, when Bobby Heenan arrived in WCW, were there talks of having him manage you, Rick, or other wrestlers, maybe even recreate a WCW version of the Heenan family?
Don't think Bobby wanted that. I'm sure that never came up. Bobby was so talented at everything he did. I think commentary was a perfect fit, which is a very difficult job. It really is. And I think that was the only thing that he had in mind, and he was great at it. So I think managing wrestlers was probably the furthest thing from his mind.
My last one, this is from Mike. He says, I believe I've heard Eric, Tony, JR, and even Bruce do it, but I got to know, does Arn have a Jim Barnett impression?
Oh my God. Arn, what do you think of Alex dancing?
It's pretty solid, my friend. Over the years, we've heard a lot about how Jim thought that Alex Wright was going to be the next big superstar, and well, lots of other stories as well about one of the most important figures in the history of wrestling, Mr. Jim Barnett. But that's going to... Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.